We've got some more information on the newest special that'll be added in Chill Season, the Splattercolor screen, from the official Splatoon Twitter page now. It's initiated by throwing a projectile in a certain direction, at which point a large wall appears and moves forward slowly. The tweet confirms that it doesn't block shots, but it damages opponents it touches and messes with their vision, turning everything black and white. It remains unclear how difficult that will make it to tell different pairings of ink colors apart, but it may still be a bit disorienting even if they have pretty good contrast. The screen itself has more holes and is more see-through than it originally looked in the trailer. It may still be useful as a smoke screen for ambush weapons though. There are a few question marks for me that might make a bit of a difference in how much value it gets and how consistently it gets it. From the trailers, it looks like the wall moves forward, clipping through the stage without much regard for level geometry. Depending on how its targeting and movement work, it seems like there's potential to misuse it and have it go down into the floor or rise over the top of someone if thrown in certain locations. The amount of damage it does is super important for determining how valuable it is. If it sets up strong damage combos, it could be really threatening as a tool to push in with, because players either back up or get one-shot by something like a Stamper Charge Slash. It will probably be a really powerful zoning tool either way, though FLC comments that, since the distance it travels isn't very far, that it probably won't be used so much to lead the main push at the enemy team as it will to flush out and deny a side angle, similar to how a tent shield is often used. One aspect that might be impactful based on the footage we've seen is how the screen interacts with the player's camera. With a third-person camera, there's some distance in between the player and the camera, and with the screen filling that gap momentarily and all of the visual effects happening around it, it's possible that the player loses sight of some useful information when they try to move through it. In the Twitter footage, you can see that there is a bubble of vision that gets cut out of the screen as soon as this happens, but it doesn't go all the way to the edges of the screen, so it's still possible that someone misses an opponent's position on their way through, and they're made vulnerable not just from the black and white visuals and the damage, but by lacking information briefly about what's in their peripherals. I wonder if there will be utility in turning the camera sideways when moving through the screen for seeing what's past the screen from a different camera angle before moving through it. Unless the targeting and movement of the screen are wonky, I think it does stand a chance of having a pretty reliable impact, forcing an opponent to decide between backing up directly or taking a certain amount of damage and potentially becoming disoriented. FLC also points out the immediacy of its effect. Compared to Inkstorm or Booyah Bomb, this is going to be active on the map and doing something more quickly after it's activated. It may not have the greatest synergy with its current kits though. It's known to be on Undercoverbrella and the new Squeezer kit. Undercoverbrella is one of the weaker main weapons in the game. It paints alright and it looks like it gets Torpedo if my Inkline analysis wasn't wrong, so it'll be immensely better than its current kit, able to sit back and stall for time with torpedoes before facilitating a push with the special. But being better than the current Undercoverbrella kit isn't enough to qualify as praise. My intuition says that Squeezer wants to be playing from further back than the special will really be that effective from, given its limited travel distance, and it's also not the fastest weapon at painting for specials anyway. Squeezer is so busted as a main weapon that it probably will see at least some use, especially early on in the experimental phases, and given that the metagame is currently not too well figured out. Finally, having a bomb it can poke with, as we believe Squeezer to have from its Inkline, is powerful. Whether it ends up being more powerful than the version that has Trizuka, one of the best specials in the game, remains to be seen. But based on what we know so far, it doesn't seem like the Splattercolor screen will be upending the meta just yet. It has been kind of a pain that the easiest way to shorten it on callouts is screen, where that word is already in use as an uncommon location callout on Museum d'Alfonsino. There are some people loudly claiming that no one would care if we just changed that callout to let everyone call the special screen. But would everyone really be okay with that, or is that just a vocal minority claiming they would? It's always hard to say with the internet. The new season starts on December 1st, which means there are a lot of announcements of new kits in our near future to look forward to. I, for one, am eager to see them and think about how they might impact the developing metagame.